Before we start, I would like to thank PLP94 for letting me use their story in tonight's video. So, it was a rite of passage as a youth to jump off a cliff. One summer, my town was offering a bus ride on certain days for kids to pay $3, and they could spend the entire day swimming at the beach at Delta Lake in upstate New York. So, my friend and I decided to go, but our main goal was to leave the beach area and go over to the cliffs of Delta Lake. This was our perfect chance to have the thrill of cliff jumping and live to tell about it. So once we were dropped off, we hatched a plan to leave the beach area, swim across an inlet, climb the hill to the nearby road, and walk to the cliffs. It took about 30 minutes to get there. Once there were about a dozen people watching others jump and enjoying the day. Eventually, it was our turn to make our way down to the jump-off point. I won the bet with my friend on seeing who would jump first. So the guy in front of me jumps, creates a big splash, and then comes up to the surface faking like he's unconscious and face down. He eventually moves out of the way so I can begin my descent to the cliff's edge. As I'm nearing the ledge, I hear screaming. I look down and see a body come up from the water in exactly the same manner as the previous jumper, face down and not moving. But this was different. You could see his muscle striations because his skin was gone. Eventually, the body turns over in the water and is actually facing up, arms out of the water and a crevice in his face. At that point, I just realized what was down there and I climbed back up to safety. When I got back to the top, all I recall was a lady running in circles screaming the whole time about what she just saw. The event was surreal. Needless to say, my friend and I never did jump off the cliffs. We went back to the beach area and went home, feeling bummed for not jumping off the cliffs, but scared at what we just witnessed. This happened in the mid-1970s, and my friend and I were probably 11 to 12 years old. This is still vivid in my memory to this day. So I have a couple of updates and responses to questions that I've been asked. The body was never identified as far as I know, but the expert said he may have been underwater for about 2 weeks. Then eventually, the gas buildup and the jumping off the cliff brought him to the surface. My wildest fear would have been jumping off when the body was coming up, or bumping into it underwater. Someone Googled Delta Lake, New York, and found articles about 2 drownings, one in 2014 and one in 2019. To be fair, any lake known for cliff jumping, teens, and then of course, also alcohol, is really going to tempt fate. And you know how local teens are anywhere near something like this. There will be urban legends, and local kids will dare other kids to spend the night there or whatever. That just increases the number of people doing unsafe stuff. It still sounds like a creepy place, just one that has a reason that is pretty simple to explain. So I was asked, was the crevice where he hit something with his face? That's what I believe. He hit his face on the way down. Our claim to fame was that we went back to the beach and told the Parks and Rec. The newspaper claimed in a story the next day that the body was found by 2 unidentified swimmers. Being young and naive, this event never bothered me, but the lady running in circles seemed stranger than the whole event. We did find other places to jump off cliffs, but not at Delta Lake. I always thought the bubbles from the guy that jumped before is what brought it to the surface. And now that I have time to reflect and think about it, here's 2 things that I recall. One is that the guy only had underwear on at the time. My thought at the time was that he came in long pants and decided to go for a swim. And 2, you could clearly see his muscle striations because his upper layer of skin was gone. So when my friend and I were on the bus home, I felt sick for the rescue EMT guys who had to pull him out of the water. I doubt he would have been attacked as they were pulling him up and out of the water. Hello everybody, I am the Dead Giant, and thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. And if you have a story of your own that you would like me to read, I'll leave a link down below where you can contact me. I hope you all have a wonderful day, or night, whatever it is, wherever you are.